You guys, so despite Katy being one of our fastest growing suburbs outside of Houston, Texas, well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the pros and cons about moving and living in Katy, Texas. So stay tuned. You guys, so welcome to my Living in Houston channel, and if you are new here, this channel is all about what it's really like to eat, sleep, play, and party in one of the fastest growing cities right here in the United States of America. And if you're not new here, then welcome back. To get notifications of when I post the next video, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button, and you'll get updates of when I post my weekly videos. So we have people reaching out to us daily who are thinking about moving and relocating to the Houston area. So if you're also thinking about relocating to the Houston area, you can reach myself or my team. All of our information is going to be below this video. You can email us, you can call us, you can text us. However you decide to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to Houston, Texas. All right, you guys, so in today's video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of living in Katy, Texas. Now, even though Katy is one of the fastest growing suburbs right outside of Houston, Texas, right on the outskirts, there are some cons of why people don't want to relocate to this area, and then we have to find another desirable area in the suburbs or in the city that fits more of their lifestyle. So I'm going to show you guys what it's like living in Katy. We're going to take a tour of some of the gorgeous homes in the Katy community. Now, one of the things I do want to say about Katy, if you are not familiar with Katy and you look at our Houston map, Katy is going to be about 30 to 45 minutes without traffic outside of the central Houston area. You're going to take I-10 Katy Freeway and go up Katy I-10 to get to this area. If you're coming from Cypress, you can also get to Katy off of Grand Parkway 99, and if you're coming from southwest side of Houston called Sugarland or Richmond, you can also take the Grand Parkway 99 to get right where we are today. Now, Katy is expanding. It does have 5 zip codes, and today we are going to take a look at zip code 77494, so you can get an idea what it's like living over here and what the real estate is like, what the prices are like, and we're also going to go over some of the pros and cons like I mentioned before. So let's get right into the video. So today we're out here at the La Centera shopping center, and it's a gorgeous day. Few people are out here, but it's not as busy as normal because this heat is very dreadful, like we mentioned before about some of the cons about living in Houston, Texas, or in the suburbs outside of Houston, Texas. But Katy is really big. I made some other videos about it. You can always check those videos out. But it has 5 zip codes like I mentioned before. And the zip code that we're in today is a very affluent side of Katy, meaning like the majority of the real estate in this area starts as around 600, 700,000. And if you're coming from the East Coast or the West Coast, that may not sound like a lot for a starter home. But in Houston and our surrounding suburbs, that is at a higher price point because our average home starts around 300, 400,000. So it's double the average home price. And like I said, that's just the starting price for this area. The other con about the area that we're in today that some of our buyers have expressed is the high property taxes. So many of these homes, the property taxes start about $15,000 to $30,000 a year, and for some families that could be a little bit outside of their budget because that could be half or a good portion of their annual income is just going to the property taxes. There are also HOA fees that are going to be in some of the communities we're going to go see, so that's another con, that the HOA fees are very high in these communities. So the HOAs can start at about $1,000 and go up to $3,000 a year. So on top of $15,000, you may have another $1,000 or $3,000 a year in HOA. So it can bring you close to $15,000 to $20,000 for these homes. And these are not even like ultra luxury homes. Some of them are not. So those have been some of the cons about moving to this particular part. The other con is the commute. Where we are today in this part of Katy, it's like right in the middle. So you can't get to this part of Katy from, like, I guess the major freeway, which is the I-10 Katy Freeway 1 and the 59 side. It's like in the middle, so you have to take another freeway called Grand Parkway. So when you're coming from like the central area, downtown Houston, if you have to work down there, or that's where the majority of the nightlife and activities are, as far as like the concerts, the sports games, then some people feel like this area could be a little bit too far for them, because there's not like a direct freeway that brings them into this area. They have to take, like I said, I-10 Katy Freeway. If they're coming from the west side or southwest side, they have to take 59, and then they have to get on another freeway that bridges it together called Grand Parkway 99, which is a toll, and that toll costs money. So there is a feeder road though that you can take that's free, but because this area is growing at the rate that it's growing at, you know, that feeder road is really small for the amount of residents that have moved out here, and it gets backed up very easily, and it can be backed up any time of day. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, morning commute traffic, 5 o'clock traffic, that doesn't even matter anymore. It can be backed up all day. So those are some of the cons about living out here in this part of Katy. Another con or issue that some of the buyers looking in the Katy area have expressed to me is that it doesn't feel as culturally diverse in this part of Katy, but that's kind of subjective to what, you know, your culture. So, but some people, depending on where you're coming from, may not feel like it's enough diversity in this area as of yet compared to some of the other areas they have seen or explored. So they, some of the buyers have just expressed that those other areas might fit their needs better because of all the, you know, maybe like culturally diverse restaurants or activities or things that are going on in that community, or churches or religious centers that are available in that area. So, like I said, that's just subjective. It just depends on what you're looking for. But that is some concern that people have brought to me about living in this part of Katy that we're going to be exploring today. So those are some of the cons about living in this part of Katy, but some of the pros are going to be the A-rated school systems that we have in this part of Katy, as well as it's a really clean area inside of town. Like you can barely find any trash on the ground. It is just very immaculate. The lawns are kept very immaculate. The neighborhoods are just absolutely gorgeous. If you like living in that suburban lifestyle where, you know, everyone maintains their grass, and it's just like everyone adheres to the rules of the HOA to keep the community at a certain standard or level, then this is definitely going to be the side, the area or the neighborhood you may like to live within. As well as one of the other pros about this part of Katy, it was ranked several years ago in Forbes magazine as one of the fastest growing subdivisions in the United States of America, because it is connected to a part of Katy called Single Ranch. So Single Ranch homes have held their value since probably as far as back as even during the 2008 and 9 recession, when homes were going for really low, this area was still holding its value. And so the homes definitely have a lot of competition when you're trying to get a home in this area. No matter, you know, our market conditions, it seems like this area always has a very low inventory of homes available, as well as the amount of competition and people trying to get into buying a home in this area. The average rent in this area is about $3,000 a month. And like I said, depending on where you're coming from in the United States, that may not be a lot to you. That might be normal to you, but for Houston, I believe it's about $1,500 a month to $1,800 a month on average. Of course, there's luxury and upward, way more expensive properties. We're just starting from where our average market is, right? So a home here will start at the $3,000 a month, and the average square feet for a home in this area will roughly start about the 2,500 to 3,000 square foot. And like I said, of course, we have the 8,000 square foot homes. We have the 20,000 square foot homes. We have big mega mansions here. Like they always say, everything's bigger in Texas. So there's always a variety of selection and homes to choose from, but we're just talking about on the average price point and on the average floor plan. What is the price going for, so you can get an idea where this area or this zip code of Katy stands in comparison to some of the other videos I made and some of the other subdivisions and zip codes in Katy that I'll be covering, or I have already covered in some of the other videos. We just want to get an idea of what's going on. But I also am going to give you a tour so that you can see how the neighborhoods look, how some of the schools look. Now, we can't go inside of the schools, of course, but we can definitely tour some homes and things like that. So we'll definitely be checking that out, and also touring some of the restaurants around here, so you know all the delicious food and activities that are available in this area, to see if it's a place that will fit your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started with the area tour, and so you can get an idea of what it's like to eat out here, what it's like to live out here, and overall what it's like. Hey, how are you today, sir?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Do you live out here in Katy? Because I'm doing a video about what it's like to live and play in Katy. So do you have anything you want to share with our viewers on, like, what are some of the good things about living out here?
Of course, thank you. Yes, well, I'm living in Katy, and good things that are around here. They have many different beautiful neighborhoods.
Okay, nice neighborhoods. Okay, what else?
Oh, and it actually is very quiet. I've been living here as well since it's on the other side of the city.
Okay.
And they have like beautiful shopping centers as well.
Okay, awesome.
Enjoy with family and their kids.
Are there any cons about living in Katy? Is there anything you don't like? Like, if somebody was moving here, would there be anything you want to warn them about or tell them about Katy?
Well, one thing I can say, since my situation, I work on the Houston, and I'm not gonna go and say traffic is one of them. If you're stuck on the traffic, and sometimes a little accidents that happen as well, that puts you a little behind.
Okay, so the accidents and the traffic can put you behind if you don't leave in enough time.
If I don't live, like, if I have a job like in Katy, it would be the perfect place, because I'm gonna be close to everything.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, it's beautiful living here.
It's great living here. Other than that, all right. Well, thank you for sharing that with our viewers today. Have a great day. Okay. Well, we found one person who has some good things and some bad things to say about living out here. So let's go ahead and take a look around and see what else is going on out here in Katy, Texas. All right, you guys, so right now we are just doing a small tour of the shopping center so you can get an idea of some of the restaurants in the area. They have everything from Perry's Steakhouse, which is a really good, well-known steakhouse here in Texas. And they have shopping stores like Ann Taylor Loft. They have Kendra Scott is over here, which is one of my favorite jewelry. I always see me wearing some Kendra Scott. They have the Pandora, which is the jewelry store, and they have a movie theater over here. Trader Joe's, which is like one of my favorite grocery stores. So there's a lot to do in this shopping center, but outside the shopping center, there's way more restaurants. Like, as we go up and down the neighborhood and the community, you're gonna see like a lot. Here's my favorite store, Kendra Scott, right there. you're gonna see a lot more pizza, deli, sandwich shops, neighborhood restaurants. There's Torchy's Taco is here. Torchy's Taco. There's Dish Society. There's like a biking trail on the lake and pond area, so it's really nice to come out here and walk. It's really nice to come out here and bring the family. It's great to sit out on the patio and have lunch, dinner, brunch. It's just a really great area for that. They have what is this, Grimaldi's? I think it's like a pizza. They got that deep dish Chicago style pizza. And everyone loves some Trader Joe's because you can always find some goodies in Trader Joe's. So one of the things I wanted to take a look at and show you guys is one of the well-known high schools out here in the Cinco Ranch, La Cintera area. This high school is massive. It looks like a freaking mall. I mean it's bigger than the mall here. Okay, maybe not that big, but it's pretty big. So I'm gonna give you guys an idea of how big these schools are here. And a lot of the schools are fairly new. As we expand the city, they had to build out more and more schools to accommodate all the people moving here and the student population growth. So a lot of these high schools, like I said, they're like some type of large college campus. I mean, they're huge. So let me show you a little bit of what's going on with this one. All right, so I heard that this high school takes its sports very, very seriously. So this high school, the kids have, of course, football is really big in Texas, and they have a tennis court, but yeah, football is really big here. The high school football games are always packed. Lots of fun, healthy school rivalry going on with the different high schools. But let me just show you, like I mentioned before, we're starting from this end. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how massive this high school is. I mean, this is like a mall shopping center, and this is a high school. It has very good ratings as well. Look, we're still driving, you guys, and we just barely made it to the front of the entranceway of the high school. There's the front entranceway of the high school right there. And as you can see down there, that's the end of it way down there. So just to give you an idea of how big this high school is. All right, so let's take a tour of some of the other parts of what it's like living on this part of Katy. And as you can see, one of the things I mentioned earlier in the video is look how clean. There's no trash on the ground. Look how clean this high school is. videos about Katy. So as you can see, it's kind of like really open. It's not gonna be like Humble in the Woodlands where it's trees. The trees, like if we were in Humble in the Woodlands, you would not even be able to see the houses because they will be behind like a full lush tree-lined street. So Katy's different. This is another could be con for some people, is that they don't like how open it is and how maybe spread out it is. But right now I'm driving to a neighborhood, so I can show you guys some more of what you can get in this part of Katy, and just showing you how, you know, like the streets look, the stores, the restaurants, just what does it look like, you know? What would it be like if you were living here? What would it feel like? So there's a fireworks stand. So some parts of Houston, you cannot pop fireworks, it's illegal. But if you go like some parts of the outskirts, I believe Montgomery County, I can't remember all the counties. But you know, if you go to the fireworks stands, they know the rules, or they should know the rule. But you can pop your fireworks. I personally love to go watch fireworks, but I have no intentions in my life to ever learn how to pop them or pop them, because I just see so many catastrophic occurrences when people do not properly pop those fireworks. So I've seen people's houses catch on fire over it. I've seen people injure their hands and get burned, or you know, kids getting hurt, neighbors, the firecracker going, you know, popping off into their grass or their lawn and setting it on fire. So I've just seen too many things like that happen. So for me, it's just, I just chose not to do it. But I know during the 4th of July, New Year's Eve, those fireworks stands are packed. Like there's lines all the way down the street to get the fireworks. So, but I love watching fireworks. All right, so we're still driving. This is still in the same zip code. We're not even out of the zip code that we mentioned, because that's the one we're gonna stay in today. And you know, you can kind of get an idea outside what it looks like until you get into a neighborhood. This is what you're gonna see. All right, so let's head to the neighborhood. All right, so right now we are in an established neighborhood. These homes were built about roughly 20 years ago, some 15, 20 years ago. And like I said, these homes, will probably be within the $400,000 to $600,000 price point. Just to give you an idea, like that one story right there might be in the fours. About $400 to $500 for these. And then we're gonna go and take a look at some new construction, but we're gonna start right now, give you an idea of what some resale homes built about 15, 20 years ago will look like as well. But back to what I was saying, just like I said again, look at the neighborhoods, look at the manicured lawns, no trash on the ground. And that's what I want to emphasize about this part of the city, Katy. Very peaceful. We're out here about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is absolutely quiet. Like, I'm thinking about just turn on some music just to wake everybody up out here, because it is just that quiet. And this is what it's like living in Katy suburbs. Zip code 77494. This is what the home styles are going to look like in an established neighborhood. This is how the lawns are going to look. The streets are absolutely immaculate and clean. The homes are brick. So our homes are brick if they're one story, and usually brick and siding Vinyl siding, hardy plank siding if they are 2 stories. Usually. Now we do have some 1 story that may have some siding on it, not just all brick around, but for the majority of the homes, I do see it built that way. All right, let's go take a look at what else we got out here in the Katy suburb. So when looking for a home out here in the Katy area, you really just gotta ask yourself what kind of lifestyle that you want to live. We're out here 2-3 o'clock in the day. As you can see, there's no one out here. And it's summertime. You would think, you know, maybe some kids will be riding their bikes or people will be walking their dogs. Some of the cons that buyers have shared with me is just a feeling of isolation. Like, you live in these big, gorgeous homes, master plan communities, but, you know, there's really not a sense of community. So you got to kind of ask yourself, what is that the type of lifestyle you like, where you just like kind of being being out here where everything's spread out, where there's not, you know, a lot of people, there's not a lot of maybe community activities going on, whereas some other neighborhoods or in the city you may have a lot of festivities and things to do. So I know for some of our buyers moving from big cities like Chicago, New York, they're used to like that inner city lifestyle. They like, you know, the, you know, crowded streets and neighborhoods, a high population of people. And then you come out here and it's like so peaceful, so quiet, no noise. I think I hear maybe a bird chirping. And you also have to think about another thing that people bring up to me, some of the cons about living out here, is the strict HOA rules. Now, as you can see, like I mentioned before, it's immaculate. It's immaculate. You know, it's no trash on the ground. You know, it's super clean. You might be thinking, well, of course I would want a clean neighborhood and home. Who would want a dirty neighborhood and who would want a dirty home or dirty community? And I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to say is some people just don't like all the rules that the HOA has. And how basically, like, a home that they purchase, how much restrictions are on the I guess the way that they want to paint or make their exterior, or maybe they have a certain number of cars in the driveway, or maybe they want to, you know, have a party and have some music, you know, not super loud, but just, you know, have a party and have a certain level of music going when that party is going on. And these kind of communities, that's not going to happen. And so that is some of the cons people have shared with me about living in these kind of communities. Or if they're retired, they have an RV. You can't bring an RV in this community. I mean, you can drive it in to unload stuff and visit a friend or whatever, but you can't have it parked there normally overnight. Just a lot of restrictions on how you live, in a sense of keeping a uniformity in the community. Now, like I said, that's not a bad thing. It's just, is that the way you want to live? And so those are some of the cons people have shared with me about living out here or in this type of neighborhood. But as you can see, the pros are, it's gorgeous. The homes are stunning. And for this neighborhood, the homes are starting at about 600 to up to 2-3 million, just so you can get an idea of the price point we're in. But if this is your lifestyle, this is what you would enjoy. So, like I said, this is just one part of Katy. There's more videos I've done on Katy. Katy is huge. We have 5 zip codes to cover. So there's gonna be a lot more content on different price points, different neighborhoods of Katy that I'll be covering. But I wanted to give you an idea of one of our affluent zip codes in Katy and what the homes look like, what the price point is, how you are going to live when you live in this community. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So, yeah, this is it. It's absolutely stunning. I'm gonna give you another view of the lake and the walking trail. And if you're thinking about buying one of these gorgeous homes, you can reach out to myself and my team. We'll be happy to help you pick out a community that's gonna fit your lifestyle. And if Katy doesn't work for you, then we're gonna just have to find another area outside of Katy, maybe closer into town, that would fit your lifestyle. So again, all of our information is going to be below this video. If you have any questions, just reach out to myself or my team. You can call us, you can email us, you can text us. However you decide to get a hold of us, we got your back. We're moving out here to Katy, Texas.